Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for iPad today is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com.
Coming up, we've got new iPhones, we've got new iTunes, but where's the iPad mini? It's so vivid. What does it mean?
Plus, Apple's new EarPods. What do they mean? Photo tips. And where the heck is the iPad mini, huh?
All that and Gojee.
Gojee?
Gojee, but a different kind than you're thinking on iPad today.
iPad Today is brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces from Citrix. All you need is a webcam and a click to turn your online meeting into a high-definition video conference. Meet with colleagues anywhere in the world, even from an iPad. Sign up for your 30-day free trial today. Visit GoToMeeting.com, click the Try It Free button, and use the promo code iPad. And by the new Squarespace. Squarespace introduces a new content management system, making it faster and easier to create a high-quality website or blog. Plus, more than 50 new features, including mobile responsive designs. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase, go to squarespace.com and use our offer code iPadToday9. So we're kind of... Hello, Sarah Lane.
Hi, Leo. How are you?
Aren't you cute?
Well, I try.
You're kind of the Nora Jones of TWiT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that song? I don't want to come.
I don't want to go to rehab, baby.
That's
no,
a different girl, and
no,
she's
no.
dead. So I'd
She didn't
love
go.
to not be the Amy Winehouse of
No,
of
you're not
TWiT.
the Amy Winehouse of TWiT.
Thank you.
So we're a little bit, I don't know about you, but I think we're a little bit in the after.
We're a little bit country. We're a little bit rock and roll.
No, that's Donnie and Marie.
Oh.
We're in, although we are the Donnie and Marie
No,
of
that's what
TWiT.
we're not.
Okay.
Because they're siblings. Actually, you know what? Without the Mormon part, I think we are kind of an Osmond duo.
And the you know, the seesaw
Divorces.
diet and,
Yeah.
and the divorces and,
and
the
the
teeth.
depression.
But other than that,
Yeah. Other than that, it's pretty much the same
I
thing.
feel like we're kind of in the afterglow of an Apple announcement. And sometimes with the Apple announcement, which was yesterday, the iPhone 5 announcement, if you're watching this later. Sometimes with those, you're high and you're excited and you can't wait. And then sometimes, and this I feel more like this, it's a little bit like, and it's a couple, for me, it's a couple of things. And I'm curious if this is what you're
Are you having a
experiencing.
serotonin dip
Yeah,
post-iPhone?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I just had a lot of sugar, something really sweet, and now it's hitting me
It's like-
that I shouldn't have had that.
It's
donut.
like, oh, gosh, that's over now. And
Well, it's a
and now
couple
I have
things.
to deal with the reality of it all.
One, we couldn't order it.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's this disconnect, like, okay, but I can't order it. And
Although
what, tomorrow?
Well, it's tonight at midnight, 12:01.
And you're gonna be up.
September 14th.
And the other
Yeah, I
was
will
that we knew every single item. There was no surprises.
None.
The rumor mill in this particular case, and it's been true of the last few, I think, announcements, that got it right, 100%.
Well, they've got supply chain leaks.
I think they
right?
figured it out, yeah.
Yeah,
They-
I mean, there are people who work
You go to
with,
China.
with companies that Apple is,
Right.
even if Apple's like, I know it came from that certain manufacturing plant, I mean, they can't do everything themselves. They
So-
had a really good run of secrecy.
They have metal detectors going in and out of Foxconn, but there's still going to be people who will know what they're building and will take pictures, who will sneak stuff out.
Right.
And I think that what's happened is the rumor blogs have realized, okay, you don't go to Cupertino to find out what's going
And
on.
if people can still rob banks, then Apple secrets are going to get leaked.
Exactly. You go to China, you find out. Exactly. So I think we could even say goodbye now to that big reveal where Apple says one more thing and we all gasp. with surprise.
I was thinking over the last couple of announcements, pretty much ever since Steve Jobs was not the one who was running the show up on stage, we've all kind of stopped saying, is there going to be a one more thing? Because there's been a few, no one more things.
No more.
And I wonder if, and maybe that's because it's out of respect for him because that was his thing, but there might have been there's a really cool feature that we'll save till the very end, but if it gets leaked, then there's nothing to save.
Then it's really bad.
Yeah.
It's worse
I mean, what would
almost.
they have done? NFC?
Right.
No.
No.
That's not a one more thing.
It's
Now,
not-
of course, there are a few of you more than a few, I know, because the last time we talked too much about the iPhone, you emailed us and said, stop doing that.
You have a show now. There's really no excuse.
There is a show, i5 for the iPhone, which is all iPhone, so I hope you're all watching that. It's really good.
Because there's really no reason.
I'm on it, so you know it's good.
Yeah. She's the Marie Osmond
really good.
of TWiT.
I'm
actually
not really kidding. Actually.
Sonny and Cher.
Oh, yes.
That's more really like
it.
Yeah.
With Chastity.
No, there's
our
not been any
son.
Chastity. Oh, our son.
Yes. Yeah, there's no Chastity here. Oh, yes.
So, are we going to just not talk about the iPhone?
No. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I know people are saying mumble grumble. That's not what this show is about, because a lot of people have an iPad and they have no other Apple products at all, or they just don't have the iPhone.
Right.
But there was stuff from the announcement yesterday that will apply to all of us iPad users.
There you go.
Number one, new iTunes. We just saw a sneak peek of it because it's not going to be rolled out until October. But from what we've seen, it's a complete overhaul.
There's some big questions in my mind. I mean, the UI is definitely different. By the way, first thing I did is fire up the old iTunes 10.7 on my computer and went to Ping, and it said in big letters, Ping is closing September 30th.
It is.
So they didn't say this at the announcement.
They mentioned nothing.
But the social network that Apple made such a big deal about a couple of years ago just didn't happen.
Yeah, they made it clear as day. They just didn't want to, bring down the
Yeah, you can't announce.
tune of the announcement.
You can't announce except we're going to stop doing
One more
something.
thing.
Yeah, no more Ping.
I would have gotten a chair.
One more thing,
Would
no
have
more
gotten a
Ping.
chair. Yeah.
So that was really due to lack of interest and lack of use. And they just didn't handle it well, I think. They didn't tie it to Facebook. That was a mistake. But the real question for me on iTunes 11, the new iTunes, is going to be, is it faster?
Yeah, because that's one of the things that people have the most problem with iTunes. It's not so much, oh, the design is horrible, why don't they update it? It's the clunkiness of use.
I've never complained about the user interface. It may not be the best. But another thing that they did not herald, but seems to be gone, is cover flow.
Well, that makes sense, though, because if you look at the pictures of the new interface, it's all a big cover flow.
It looks like Windows Metro.
Yeah, it's
tiles.
There's heavy emphasis on the visual aspect of it.
But remember that they made a big deal. They acquired the company that did the cover flow technology, the ability to kind of page through your albums.
Yeah.
No, gone.
I think part of that is probably just, hey, we, up and up on design, and partly because cover flow has become this thing. It's like Kleenex, you go, oh, it looks like cover flow, that a lot of services use.
Times change.
And Apple doesn't necessarily want to be part of that, what everybody else is doing.
Well, I'm glad they didn't sue everybody else. They just killed the feature.
They said, well, we don't want to do cover flow anymore. That ship has sailed.
Colin Weir over here said in the chat room, our streaming guy, he said it was such a tacky feature. It was kind of tacky. You know what it was? It was skeuomorphic. It was that same thing where you try to make it like the real world, like you're paging through your albums. Oh, but how many people in this day and age even know what albums are or have ever gone through albums at a record store? So it didn't make a lot of sense. I'm glad they dropped that. And it may be that's a very, by the way, CPU intensive operation to do that. It may be that was one of the ways we hope that they'll speed iTunes up.
So not only will iTunes be updated when you're connecting your iPad to maybe your main computer, but the iOS app will be updated as well.
And when does that happen?
October.
Sometime in October.
Yeah, so iOS 6 is going to roll out first.
Yeah.
We're going to get new iTunes in a subsequent update, which is kind of annoying.
It won't come with iOS 6.
No, because we're getting iOS 6 next week.
Right.
So that's annoying. I don't know what else to say, but it is coming. I'm looking forward to it. I have all sorts of problems with iTunes. I was really hoping once they started getting going on iTunes yesterday at the announcement, I was like, they're going to start splitting things out, because I've said for years, iTunes is now this bloated thing that contains way too many things that aren't music related. iTunes, come on.
So they've already done that with podcasts.
They have.
And videos.
Right. I mean, I guess to some extent the App Store, certainly in the iOS experience. They need something for TV and movies.
Newsstand should be separated out, right?
Well, it is.
Well, but it isn't, though. That's the thing that kind of annoys me. It's really just a view into the store. I think just get it out of there completely. That always bugged me. I didn't like it that you go back in the store when you're shopping.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, is that they're all still
But that's
on the
iBook
iTunes
Store.
umbrella.
That's not, I mean, am I confusing iTunes? No, this is iTunes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it is.
Even, in fact, this is the other thing that bugs me. Okay, so now I've clicked the featured button. I'm back into normal. No, this is the App Store. I could fault.
But the App Store is part of iTunes.
I'm just all confused.
The App Store is not, I mean, the App Store is in iTunes. I feel like, and so are podcasts, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you have your own app, that's fine. But still, if I open iTunes right now on my MacBook, that's where I have to manage everything.
Well, that's the other confusing thing. iTunes on the desktop does everything, and it's already a little more separated out on the iPad, and getting more so.
Fragmentation. Jeez. It's getting worse every day. Speaking of fragmentation, we didn't hear anything about the iPad mini yesterday, and we didn't expect it necessarily. In fact, last week we said probably not going to happen.
Right.
Based on the sources that we trust, who said Apple wouldn't do that. Apple wouldn't go iPhone 5 and also something totally, completely new and different. But we did get a lot of pricing, not only for the new iPhones, but a whole line of iPods.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned, let's just say the iPad mini exists, because we still believe that it is happening.
Where do you put it?
Yeah.
There is no place in the price range that you could logically put an iPad mini. And the only conclusion that we could come to on our panel, you were there, Tom Merritt, I as Akhtar, was that in fact the iPod Touch was distinguished enough from the iPad mini that you could have, click the iPod Touch, Chad, and let's look at the models. If you zoom out a little bit, we can see the models. It starts at $300, and $300 for an iPod Touch, by the way. And then for 64 gigs, it's $499.
Right.
I think that's the price range for the iPad mini. In other words, and Apple has done this before. You can, for $300, you could buy an iPod Touch with 32 gigs, right? It was 32 gigs. Or you could buy an iPad mini with maybe 16 gigs. That will be the price, that will be where they will overlap. That's the only thing I can figure.
I think you're right. I think the price has to overlap, and Apple will say, I mean, the point I made yesterday, for anybody who was watching, I think it was on MacBreak Weekly, because I sat in on that show, was right now it's iPod Touch, and then you've got iPad, and no one's really comparing the two. But now you've got a larger iPod Touch on a smaller iPad potentially, and it starts to get murkier, but they still are two different things. I mean, an iPod Touch is not a tablet. No matter what you're doing on it, no one's calling it a tablet. Right?
Remember when the iPad came out, though? People just said, oh, it's just a bigger iPhone. And the iPod Touch came out, well, it's just the iPhone without the phone. Where does an iPad mini in there? I think we're pretty much have concluded, based on all the rumors again, which were right around the phone, so let's assume they're right again, that it will be, the iPad mini will be almost exactly like an iPad 2. Same processor, same screen resolution, 1024 by 768, just in a 7.85 package. So it's an iPad 2, so it can't be, and the iPad 3, the next iPad, is $500.
Yeah.
So it can't be, it's got to be 400 or less. I think 350, 400. It's going to be expensive. In other words, what we do know for sure, I think, is that Apple is not going to chase the low price guys.
Apple doesn't do that. Apple's like, we have Cadillac prices because
they're going to stay
we
Cadillac.
spend so much time under the hood making things made out of crystallized ginger and diamonds.
I was hopeful, and a lot of others were hopeful. They said, well, if it's an iPad 2, it's something they've been making a long time. They've got the prices down on all those components. So you're not doing new hot components. You're doing a low-quality camera. You're doing a slower chip. You're doing a lower-quality screen. You could sell this for $200, $250. But there's I can't imagine them selling it that inexpensively when you start with an iPod Touch at $300. I just can't. Why would you buy an iPod Touch if you could get a mini for less?
I don't know. There's probably somebody out there who has a really good reason why they would prefer the iPod Touch. Maybe they want something that's yellow or green.
I'm still lobbying for
maroon.
a $250 iPad mini. I really am.
I don't think you're going to find it. I don't think you're going to see anything under $300, and even that sounds low to me. But I think that Apple says, all right,
$350?
all right, everybody who says 7-inch tablet is the way to go, fine, we'll give you one.
$350. That's my prediction.
I think you're about right. I think $349.
$349, yeah.
Sounds about right.
For 16 gigs Wi-Fi? 16 gigs.
I think 8.
8?
I think it'll start
No,
at
they're not
8.
going to sell an 8.
No?
No, you're cracked.
You're cracked.
No, you're cracked.
Yeah, you're probably right.
No, it's got to be 16 or 32. I think it'll be 16. And I don't understand. Look, I've never understood that.
Yeah, it'd have to be because it's all about media consumption.
Yeah.
It's true.
So there you have it.
Stuck in the past.
$349, and the chat room is saying 32 gigs. I think 16, $349.
I mean, if big iPad starts at 16, mini would start at 16.
And will they have LTE? Not for that price. That'll be a Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Hey, so you know what else we got were new headphones that Apple is now calling the EarPods.
You bought them. Let's see them.
How did you know?
Somebody told me.
Who?
You.
Oh.
This is, of all the things.
I was totally hiding
I know, I'm so excited.
under my pillow.
I'm so excited.
And I was going to do the big reveal, and you were going to freak out.
Well, you did. Wow! I just did it.
I didn't tell you this. I told you I was going to, but I thought you'd forget.
You counted on my forgetfulness and stupidity,
Dang
which is
it.
usually a good bet.
You suck.
So
you were watching the stream this morning.
No, you said in the email to me, I have them. But the point is, this is the only thing you could order and buy today.
This is all I got.
This is it.
And I'm going to say right now.
I'm dying to know. By the way, these
would you like to?
These will come with
They've been
the
in
new
my
touches.
ears, so you have to
These
be
will come the new
comfortable.
touches. These will come with
the new iPhones.
New iPhones, and they'll be available for a surprisingly low $30.
Right.
So the question
is, they come bundled with the iPhone or iPod.
Yeah, or if you want to add it to your iPad.
If you want to buy them from nothing.
You can see why they call them pods, because they look like pods. They're a ported design. There's a little port on each side here. Usually you do that for improved bass, but I'm wondering, because I've heard there's noise cancellation, maybe these are the noise cancellation ports. So Sarah Lane, do tell. It also has a microphone. What do you think?
I love them so far. Now, this is coming from somebody who had a serious, extreme problem with the Apple earbuds for the last 4 years.
You have a very small canal.
Well, they don't fit my ears. They hurt.
Do you mind if I put them in?
I don't. I don't mind at all. Do you mind? Too late.
No.
Now, what you should do is listen to something. Because not only do they fit differently, but
they do fit. They're, first of all, I thought they would fit more securely. They're still a little loose. They're more secure than the earbuds were.
Yes, they have a different.
But they're not falling out.
They're not falling out, but you're right. They're not super tight, which is actually probably good.
More comfortable.
Because you don't want to shove anything in your ear.
Yeah.
But they sound better. They really do give a little bit of that. Noise cancellation feel. It's not like a pair of Bose noise cancellation over the ears.
Those are a lot more expensive.
Yeah,
too.
No, it's not the same thing as that, but it does feel good.
Yeah, they sit on the ear. Oh, these sound great.
I told you.
Oh, they're really rich. They sound really good. And you do hear the noise cancellation. I don't know if it's active or passive. You know, Bose is active. They actually have circuitry that picks up the sound.
Even if you're not listening to something, it goes.
Yeah. And I didn't hear that, but I definitely do not hear as much background noise. That's surprising.
It's a huge step up as far as audio quality goes.
What about bass? I'm not hearing a huge amount of bass, but I'm listening to Uncle Tupelo, which is kind of a little twangy.
You gotta,
Let me every day I'm shuffling. How about
load up your Biggie?
I'll play a little Cassidy. I pray.
You know Cassidy.
Oh, it sounds great.
Told you.
The bass is great.
You guys just have to trust us here. We're not,
You know what? I'm actually shocked because for $30 you shouldn't be able to get these. The quality is very surprisingly good.
Yeah.
And it's not active, but there is noticeable noise cancellation.
Yeah.
That must be those little ports on the side there.
This is the sort of thing where when I'm traveling, which I always need my iPad for, I want to.
Wow, I am blown away. I did not expect that.
I want to cancel out the world. Yeah, I know.
Now,
I felt
have you
the
tried
same
it on
way.
the phone? Do you know what the sound of the microphone is? Have you called somebody?
I haven't. Yeah. Hadn't even thought of that because I hate talking.
You know what's so funny? I really don't think people use their mobile phones as phones much anymore. Maybe some people do.
People do.
It's really a computer.
I see them.
It's a music device. It's a texting device.
You know what's funny? I still, you still see the people with the Bluetooth headset kind of thing where you're like, is that a crazy person? Or, oh, no, they're on the phone. But those seem to be the people who really are walking and talking because they have Bluetooth so that it's even more convenient.
I was worried that we'd see, like, everybody be doing that. And then now it's just the crazy people again.
Well, it's something that...
It's a small minority.
You see people and you're like, okay, it's one of those people. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just...
I know there are people who use the phone a lot, but in general, wouldn't you say that the cell phone turns out to be less of a phone than they used to be. They're really much more a computer than your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
And I think having a good pair of headphones is absolutely a big deal. I'm blown away. $30.
Told you. I know. I'm excited about it because at the announcement, if you didn't see the announcement, they made a big deal about these headphones.
Yeah.
You know, they showed. We saw a little bit of it just now, you know, all these, you know, beautiful videos of the inside workings, and Johnny Ive talking about headphones and music is all part of the Apple legacy. And
what
so
are
if they
those
sucked,
ports?
I
Those
would've been
ports
mad.
must be passive. They must be passive noise canceling ports. They take in what's going on around you and they cancel it out. They must be. I don't know what they are.
They're just nice. You don't want to lose these.
Well, you could though. At $30, it's not like
Well,
a $200 pair of headphones.
What I'm saying is you'll be sad if
Be
you
sad
lose
if you
them.
lose them. There's the noise cancellation.
Although, you know, my old headphones, I've probably accidentally washed and put through the dryer 5 or 6 sets, and they always
What's that?
still work.
What's that do? Oh, that's the coming into your ear part.
Yeah.
What's the other part, though? See that big port on the other side?
Experience an Apple product.
Oh, shut up, Johnny.
Airflow in and out of the acoustic
Well, that's not very
chamber.
nice.
Well, I'm sorry,
They
but it makes me
pressure in and out
passive
of
aggressive.
speaker
Well, if you were
to
listening, you'd
actually
know what was on the other
produce
side.
He
rather
makes me
than-
aggressive.
Why?
I don't
He's-
know.
I think he comes across as very cool.
Sounds poncy.
Well, he's making
Sir Johnny Ive.
Sir Johnny Ive. That's right.
He sounds a little smug.
Well,
You know,
don't you think he should
I am
be?
the best designer in the world.
Don't you think that some people, I mean, he's probably been told that enough, so he's a little smug.
Yeah. I'm
little
liking
smug.
those EarPods. I
Yeah,
will
they're-
be, you know,
they're-
somebody asked, will you allow those on Skype calls? And we'll have to try them.
Yeah.
Because the old ones rattled every
That's a
time
good
they
call.
touched, but they may sound better.
What I also like about them, are you one of those people who goes, is it left or right?
Yeah, you can't put them in wrong there.
You can't put them in wrong. Like
Yeah.
once you get used to it, there's just the one way. Because I always do the L and the R correctly on the old earbuds, but I'm wondering, they hurt either way. Whether they're backwards or forwards, what does it matter?
The EarPods.
What does it matter? The earpods,
They
yeah,
will be
30
on the
bucks.
new iPhones. They will be on the new iPod Touches. I presume they'll be on the new iPods. I didn't look. The question is, when will they start putting those? Do you get earphones with? I guess you don't get earphones with your iPad. I can't remember.
No, you do.
Do you?
Yeah,
So when will they put them? I guess, will they start packaging them immediately?
they should.
Be nice.
Yeah, they got to get these out and about, right?
I can't. You don't get it. You don't. Colin says you don't get headphones.
You
with your
don't?
iPad. I don't think so.
That's stupid.
You get a charger. That's all
You
you
get a charger. Oh, okay.
So,
Well-
maybe this is what they'll sell another $30
Well,
worth.
well, yeah. It sure would be nice if they bundled them in.
You know what else they silently killed?
What?
They didn't mention anything about a bumper case. In fact, Apple has no case for the iPhone 5.
Good call. They didn't, did they?
No.
I guess they don't feel that you need anything. Certainly
I always thought it was-
for voice calls
I
anymore.
always, yeah, I mean, they
The
must
antenna
make,
issue's over.
somebody, I think it was on the Next Webs, estimated that they must make at least $8 billion a year on that because they charge $30 or $40 for that case, which can't cost more than $1 to make. It's all profit. But I do think that the reason they don't make a case and didn't want to make a case for the iPhone 4S or 4 is because they think it's a work of art and they think it's a shame to put it in a case.
I don't have a case. I don't use a case for my iPhone
And you've never
4S.
broken it?
I have dropped it in the toilet.
A case wouldn't have helped there.
No, it wouldn't have.
No.
But no, I used a case for a while, and then I got a new phone and thought, it's so nice and sleek, and I don't want a case. And
Later
so
today, and this
was
is
the end
not,
of that.
I know again we're talking about the phone and I apologize, but later today I am going to put my Galaxy S3 and the iPhone 4S in a case from a company called Ballistic and drop it off the roof.
Oh.
Just,
Remember how well the whole water-resistant thing went?
I can't remember, how did that go?
Not well.
Okay.
Not well. You had to get another phone, so you were out, $500
Well,
bucks
and
for,
that's another
for
thing.
a laugh.
For the GizWiz, I have something from Seal Shield that supposedly waterproofs your iPad.
Just don't.
No, it's too late. I've already committed. On Tuesday, I will be putting my iPad in a bucket of water.
That's so dumb.
This could be my trademark.
I hope it is. Yeah,
He was,
sure.
there's people, will it blend? I'll be the guy who puts everything in water.
Whose phone is ringing? Is it you, Chad?
You can thank Jeff Stewart for inviting me to a Google Hangout on the show.
You should silence your phone
Jeff
so
Stewart,
that we don't have to hear it.
who is one of our
during the
most
show.
senior people here, and you would think,
Wait,
as a
is that
family
true?
man, he is actually the worst
person in the world.
I want to say there's a phrase I don't dare say, disturber in the world.
Well, you should
He's a
dock
troublemaker.
his pay. You should dock his pay anytime he is disruptive like this in the future.
Somebody says I should donate my devices to the less fortunate instead of dunking them in water. I don't think so. I think my job is to see how these things work.
He breaks his crap, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Hey, for all the links to some of the stuff that we mentioned, and please do, if you missed the announcement and you feel left out, we got a good solid 2 hours of peanut gallery. We all sat here, our TNT News team and Leo.
Fun. So much fun.
Yeah, we had a good time to kind of taking apart all of the announcements and
Puppets.
And there were puppets and figuring out what was a cool feature and what we weren't sure about and blah blah blah.
I love doing those.
That's up on our TWiT specials.
That is those events. And we do them you do them for Amazon, you did it, we do it for other products.
Yeah.
For some reason, the #1 thing we do live all year long, every year, is Apple announcements. We're not sure, but we believe 90,000 live viewers peaked. We had 8,000 audio viewers, which is the largest number we've ever had.
What's
of
an audio viewer?
Well, I don't know if you know that, but you can watch us live, but you can also listen live.
Yeah.
And we have an audio stream, and 8,000 audio viewers. You were reporting people were watching us from the Spotify headquarters. And
yeah,
from
they were
NBC.
tweeting me saying, keep it up.
Yeah.
So that's like, what a pleasure.
It just grabs people. There's something about what Apple does when it's announcements that just grabs the interest of people, and they watch. And it's for us, it's our big event, you know.
Well, the media, which we are a part of, has a lot to do with that crazy hype.
I guess.
Because everyone makes a huge deal about this starting 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So when the day finally comes, even if you're underwhelmed, you're still watching. But thanks to everybody who tuned in to us, because we had a good time too.
Yep.
Quick reminder, we record iPad Today live on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And if you can't watch us live, you can always just go to twit.tv/IPT, where you can get all of our shows on demand. We like when you watch us live. It's fun watching you all in chat.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
But you don't have to. If you feel like, darn it, I was so busy and I missed you guys live on Thursday, it's almost better after the fact.
You know, the main reason we do
you
it.
can eat lunch first.
We do it live is because if we didn't, Sarah would keep telling me, no, let's do another take. That was terrible. Would you do that again? Now she can't.
It's true.
We have to just do it.
Yeah.
Our show
the
brought
beauty
to
of
you
live.
brought to you today by Citrix and the folks who do that great Go to My PC remote app. Boy, this is a great way to access your desktop. If, you know, hey, tomorrow's Friday, wouldn't it be nice just take the day off? Go home. Work at home, maybe. Or work at the pool, at the beach. Enjoy the...
I'm not going to be here tomorrow.
Please do.
Thank you.
Where are you going?
I'm going to, well, I've just decided this second that I'm going to drive to Carmel.
Drive to Carmel.
I'm going
But here's the deal. Before you go, sit down at your office computer, Mac or PC, go to the website, gotomypc.com. You can install it free for 30 days. And then when you do hit the road, when you're on the way to Carmel, bring your iPhone or your iPad, and you can access your office computer from your iPhone, from your iPad. Their apps are free. It's kind of mind-blowing. I mean, even with a Windows PC, you're accessing it. You could send and receive email. There's somebody doing QuickBooks. There's somebody doing Paint, for crying out loud. Anything you could do on your office computer, you could do on your iPhone or your iPad. Send and receive email, access any network resource, run any program. It's just as if you're at work. It's like having your work computer in your pocket, which means you're free to leave. You're free to go. I just love it. Totally secure, 128-bit SSL. By the way, this would be an excellent way to surf safely in an open access spot. Just fire up, go to my PC on your iPad, and then the SSL to the office, and then from the office out is secure, and you're safely surfing. It's just great. Try it free. We've got a 30-day offer. Visit gotomypc.com. Click the orange Try It Free button. The promo code for this is iPad. So just type in IPAD, and you're on your way. And then get the app for the iPad. It's amazing how fast and easy it is to use. Go to my PC.
Hey, so Leo.
Hey, so
Did
Sarah.
you hear about the American Airlines pilots?
Yes.
Because they're going to have iPads that are
Yes.
cleared for flight in all phases of a flight.
Instead of getting, I think more and more airlines are going to do this. Instead of getting a big stack of, you see the pilots get on with their briefcases.
Yeah.
And they've got flight plans in there, maps, all that stuff. All that stuff will be on an iPad, saving not only saving them a lot of carrying, but it saves gas.
It saves them
jet
over $1
fuel.
million in fuel costs.
Now, I was a little
annually.
worried about safety.
Yes.
What if the battery dies and everything's on the iPad? So it turns out they have rules. You must have, your iPad must be fully charged, 100% when you get on, and they're required to carry a second battery that's 100%. So if there's any failure, they can switch over.
So
And-
what? It's like some USB dongle
You know, I
battery
didn't find
thing?
out, but I would imagine it's like,
A very large Mophie?
it could be a giant Mophie case. Or, you know, they have those external slices that actually have more than one charge in
Yeah,
them.
that's true.
And you just plug it in and it would continue to operate.
Right, which probably weigh a little bit. So
Now,
but then they say that the paper version of those flight plans are 35 pounds
Well,
each.
exactly.
A pop.
It's a ton.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
that's a lot of bulk, especially for 2 pilots.
And of course, the pilot and co-pilot both have iPads, so you've got a lot of redundancy. So I think it's probably safe. Although I'd want them to have like just one map, just like in the glove compartment there in the plane, just one, just in case.
Just in case one of us back in coach turns on our iPads during takeoff and ruins everything,
yeah.
which, I mean, I think more now than ever, it's pretty clear that that's not interfering, or pilots wouldn't have iPads.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
You
I
know,
never
the
thought of
FAA
that.
clears American Airlines. Yes, I'm sure the rest of the airlines will follow suit. But when do we get them to say, okay, we realize that you're not actually going to interfere with the plane and
saw
cause an issue?
The FCC is convening a investigative commission. They're going to investigate exactly that. They do say, don't worry, we're not going to ever approve cell phones, but we are going to look at Kindles, iPads, and other devices for safe use on an airplane.
I love it.
Isn't that good?
I love it.
It's takeoff and landing. You can use your iPad in between. It's the takeoff and landing that's the issue.
Which is, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but this has happened to me so many times, and I'm sure you guys too. You get on the plane, maybe you board early, or there's like a delay or whatever, so you're on the plane for a while. Then you have to shut everything off. Then you have to sit there for a while before you can turn it back on. And if you're in the middle of a movie and you're like a distressed flyer, you hate airplanes or something, it's like, it would just be so nice to keep that whole thing constant and kind of try to, well, I guess you got to listen to the security stuff.
You know what I like to do?
But that's still going to save you time. What?
I don't know if this is illegal. If you're an airline pilot and you're in the chat room, let me know. I like to turn on my GPS. I'll turn everything else off. I don't want Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but I like to turn on my GPS and have a map app and know what I'm looking out the window at.
Yeah.
Is that legal?
Yeah, that's legal. GPS,
It is legal.
GPS is legal in an
Because it's
airplane.
receiving only.
Right.
I love doing that. And actually, I'm glad to hear that, Chad, because I've been doing it and just thinking, I hope I don't bring the plane.
All you have to do is look in the back of that security thing that you never
It
look
says
at,
that.
and GPSs are allowed.
Right on.
Somebody yesterday, I was complaining about this, a couple days ago on TNT. We talked about this story, and someone said, you can tell that Sarah's one of those people who doesn't turn off her iPhone.
I can tell that. You're a
I
rule
am. I do
breaker.
turn it off. I do. I mean, even though I don't really believe I'm going to cause harm, like, I'm not going to be that person who doesn't turn it off.
I am a rule follower. I am one of those people that I like to follow rules.
I also feel that,
Yeah.
well, unless you're talking about, no, I follow rules. I follow rules. You're right. No, I don't break anything. Rules.
I know.
I'm a legal
You have a
person.
fake ID
Well,
so that you can drink. I know. You don't have to deny it.
I haven't needed it in 14 years, but yes, I do. And my last name was spelled LN period.
Really?
Like the street.
You're kidding.
And nobody ever noticed. Used that thing for 3
That's
years.
where I live. I live on Sarah Lane.
I was from South Carolina. My name was Sarah
You're kidding
LN
me.
period.
You are kidding me.
True story. Got it on Market Street.
I think that's pretty
And I don't
funny.
think that that's smart,
It's
everyone.
not good.
I don't think you should do that.
Teenage drinking
But that
is
is
nothing
the
to be,
reality of my youth.
Yeah. She's being honest.
Of my ute.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
She's just being honest.
I'm just being honest.
I think I remember seeing, and I'm going to have to look at this, an app that would let you, was it augmented reality? Yeah, it's called Windows Seat. That is on the iPad that lets you look out. You don't need GPS. You just say, I'm on this flight, and it, based on time, lets you look out the window and see an image of what you're seeing, including descriptions and landmarks.
That's so cool.
Isn't that fun?
I actually really like, I mean, that's...
I like to know what I'm looking at.
That's the joy of flight, right? Is that you're
Yeah.
actually over all this great stuff and you wonder, what is that city?
It-
What is that mountain? What is
so
that
cool.
lake? That stream?
Now, unfortunately, it's U.S. flights only. If you have a GPS, it will use it. They have external GPS support as well, but I would sure love to see this for, because for instance, when you fly to Paris, you fly over Greenland and you're looking at the ice floes. I'd just like to know what I'm seeing out there. I love that.
So should we talk about the new YouTube app?
Yeah.
I want to talk about it even though it's not actually an iPad app.
It's actually good on the iPad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry. Because it's so visual that, you know, it's kind of like some of those other iPhone apps. Obviously, it is an iPhone app. Came out, I think it was Monday. Is that right? Monday or Tuesday? And it's a huge improvement. And this is for anybody who goes, well, crap. I access YouTube on my iPad all the time, and it's getting stripped out of iOS 6. What's going to happen? And we said, well, Google will come out with a standalone YouTube app, of course. And they have. It's quick. You have to assume an iPad app is coming, a native one.
My question is, when does Google do a standalone downloadable Maps? Because, of course, Apple's taking out YouTube and Google Maps out of iOS 6. And I'm glad to see Google responding so quickly to YouTube. I hope they do the same with Maps.
I love this YouTube app. This is so much better.
Much
Look at it. It really looks like a lot of the other Google products, right? This feels very...
Now, if you look at it in a high-def video, will it use the Retina display, or is it going to be confused by the fact that you're on an iPad? Let me see here.
That's a good question.
Let me play something.
Because it would be Retina on iPhone.
Actually, this looks pretty high def.
Fewer pixels.
This looks pretty high def here.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
And let's see, that's just the AirPlay thing. I think
what
that
are you
looks pretty
looking
good.
at?
That's a robot that can run.
It's so cute.
It's a running robot.
It's like a little muskrat.
You think it's going fast now? Keep watching.
Really?
Oh, it's as fast as a cheetah.
Really?
Yeah, 25 miles an hour.
Whoa.
25.9.
Whoa.
Whoa.
How fast does it go?
26 miles an hour. I don't know. It's a mystery.
Oh my gosh.
Now that's 1X. You see, I can't tell if we're...
it looks good. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're just looking at good video that's stretched a bit.
Right, 28 miles an hour.
That's amazing.
Look at it running. Look at that. Robots, what will they think of next?
So yeah, the YouTube app is available. The thing that's funny is that on iOS 5, you still have your native YouTube app. So you've got two YouTube apps right now if you download this one for the iPhone. But again, iOS 6 is going to go away before potentially a native iPad YouTube app gets pushed out to us. So it's certainly worth downloading and playing around with now so that you're used to it.
And I presume that they'll do an iPad app at some point. I hope so. And there are third-party video apps that will let you do that.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, they'll roll out something universal, but they'll probably have a nice native iPad app. Hey, we got a duh tip from, okay, I'm going to try to get your name and your city right.
Good point. Vince360 says, robots that run faster than humans, not a good idea.
I guess that's true.
And, well, you've seen it, so it's too late now.
Shoot, now they know.
Remember, you don't have to outrun the robot,
scared.
you just have to outrun the other person.
But the other person
programmed the robot.
Gets you. The other, anyway. I'm going to try to get this wonderful man's name right. Pascal Villeneuve from Gatineau, Quebec, Canada.
Oui.
He has a duh tip.
Oui.
Roll it.
Hi, Leo. Hi, Sarah. Just a quick duh tip on how to attach a picture to an email you were replying to. I know there's no attach button or anything once you're already in a conversation with someone in iOS. So what you can do is you can go to your camera roll, you pick the picture you want to send, and once it's open, you click on it just anywhere on the picture, and then you just hold it for maybe 1 second, and when you release it, the copy button will appear. So you click on that copy button, and then you go back to your email where you want to paste the picture, and then you just click and hold and select paste, and that's going to put the picture in your conversation stream. So you don't have to create a new email from the photo app to send an email. So I didn't know about it, and I think iOS 6 is going to fix this. But until then, I thought that was pretty useful. So take care. I like the show. Bye.
Thank you. This is actually something that I've come across a couple times, because when you're in your Photos app, let's say, yeah, I'm in the middle of an email to you. I'm describing something to you. Maybe I've written a couple paragraphs, and it's like, oh, I want to attach that photo that's descriptive of this thing that Leo needs to know about. Well, so I go into my Photos app, And then if you have a picture that you're like, okay, Leo needs to see this chocolate bread that's going to be, you know, life-changing.
I'm so glad you saved that.
You like that? Chocolate bread. I mean, that's all I think about.
Yeah.
Chocolate bread?
Chocolate bread?
There's nothing else.
Together?
Except a little bit of cheese. Then you get a bottle of wine. That's all you need to live. Anyway, so I want to show you this, and I've talked about the chocolate bread. But if I say email photo, it'll go ahead and open up this nice attachment in a new email. So that's kind of annoying.
That's not what we want.
Yeah, but let's say you're already in an email. What you do is you go back to the Photos app, which is, well, I'm actually already. Well, this is annoying because it's trying to be helpful.
Hurry up! You got a party to get to.
Oh, hush you. So this is a picture of an ashtray. I'm like, Leo really needs to see this ashtray. What Pascal is saying, you just go ahead and copy.
That's an ashtray?
Yeah, it's pretty, huh? It's crystal. And you go back into your email. Gosh, why is everything all messed up for me today?
You copy and paste it.
Yeah.
I think we got the idea.
Well, no, somebody out there is going to appreciate me.
Now press and hold. Press and hold.
I am. No, it's not me. It's my iPad's going insane.
It works.
Did I not
seriously,
copy?
You didn't copy it.
Oh,
but seriously, it works. It's great. It's a good thing. You know, it's an old tip because it was the only way we used to be able to do full quality images in email because they would always shrink them down. Now they added, since in iOS 5, they've added that. You get the choice.
Also, email clients, they all can handle larger
Used to be they didn't.
files.
They used to have to shrink them down.
Yeah. Remember when Gmail gave us a gig and it was a really big deal? Ooh. What is it now? You can send up to 20 gigs at a time? I don't know. I never have a problem
anymore. I use
anymore.
ShareFile, a fabulous product from Citrix.
Double tap? Is that what my problem was, people? No,
I don't
that
need
be the
to.
problem.
No, I think you just do what you did.
Yeah. No, there's something weird.
You
going
didn't
on
copy,
here.
I think.
I didn't copy it. It's probably I went too fast. It does work though.
You broke it.
Thank you, Pascal. I had not heard, or maybe I didn't pay enough attention, that iOS 6 might actually have a different sharing mechanism.
I hadn't heard that either. Yeah.
But this is certainly your workaround until then, or maybe afterwards if it doesn't indeed solve the problem. We got another dud tip heavy, from Bruce, who says, I suspect many people, use my iPhone as my alarm clock.
Yep.
Or iPad, you can do this too, rather than scroll through to find an alarm I've already set, which can be a hassle if you have a lot of them. Oh, actually, no, this is going to be an iPhone tip rather than an iPad tip because of Siri.
Well, in iOS 6, you'll be able to do
it'll
this.
apply to, yeah.
And I use Siri to set my alarms all the time. That's a great solution.
So you already do this?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so this is something that will apply to iOS 6, of course. He says, I make a lot of alarms. When I try to find an alarm I've already set, it can be a hassle if you keep making them. I have 5:15, 5:30, 5:40, 6:10.
You already have an alarm at that time. Shall I turn it on for you?
So he says, I've got 50 alarms before I know it, and then it's just a hassle to scroll through them. If you have to delete them, you have to delete them
Right. That's one thing I really
one.
don't like about iOS. Same thing with text messages. They need a mass delete.
Well, he says, if you've got Siri, you just tell Siri to delete all of your alarms.
But
and
you
she'll
do have
do
a
it
mass
in
delete.
one fell swoop.
I didn't know that.
So you can start afresh without a long list of alarms to scroll
And
through.
if you use Siri to set alarms and you already have an alarm for that time, Siri won't create a new alarm. It will say, Leo, I already have an alarm for that time. I will turn it on for you.
Right.
And so you don't create a lot of extra alarms that way.
Yeah, but if you're like, I've made so much junk, now I don't know what to do with it.
Do you think you get Siri to delete all the text messages? Because that's a big hassle for me.
Delete text messages?
Yeah, because I don't delete them as they come in, and I get a lot of text messages. So instead, I got to go one by one.
But why? Because if you continue a conversation with somebody that you texted a week ago,
You never delete them?
No. Wow. I mean, I don't. What are you talking about? Government secrets or something?
No, I got a lot of them. I don't want to have 50 text messages.
You just don't want them?
Well, how do you organize them?
I don't. If somebody I've been talking to
If it's always
recently,
from the same person, it just adds it. So
well, I mean, I would say I probably text 5 people the most.
I see. So then you
they're
only
usually
really have
hovering around
5
the top,
things in there.
or I
Yeah.
just search for somebody's name.
It does save time.
And then
because
it
you
opens up.
You could just open that one.
Yeah,
again.
the thread.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Do you guys all delete your texts regularly? Maybe I should be. Never really thought about it. They're not taking up that much space either. I'm more concerned with deleting music and things like that.
So really, I was just holding it wrong.
Yeah.
It's funny because I archive my text messages because I want to keep them.
Oh, you do?
How do you do that?
Yeah. Where do they go?
You can use third-party services or Google Voice. Make sure they stay around.
It's good
from phone to
because
phone.
that way, if there's a legal problem, you've got the evidence.
Right.
And you can use that against them.
So just another reason why some of you older iPad users are mad that Siri is not coming to you.
We should do a
But
vote. Do you
the
delete
newer
text
ones-
messages or do you keep them?
Right. And I'm sure people have all sorts of reasons why they really, really feel strongly one way or the other. iPad star of the week this week is Bob Roche, who actually also sent us a video. We're like video crazy on the show. And he has some college app tips for all of you.
Oh, that's good.
Here, Leo, and all you other twits out there. I was watching episode 113 of iPad today, where you guys talk about taking notes in school. And myself being a college student and just recently getting an iPad this past year, I found the iPad to be extremely useful. So I thought I would just do a quick video and show you guys my setup for how I take notes and keep organized during the school year. The two apps I'm going to be talking about are called Notability and iStudies Pro. So go ahead and jumping into Notability. This is a great way to keep all my notes organized during the school year. As you can see, I have all my classes. I can even change the paper to loose leaf. And now what's great about this application is that I can not only type, but I can also do freehand as well, and it's very smooth. This is great for people like me that actually type faster than they write. And I find this very useful in classes like economics and math, where I'm doing lots of definitions, but also lots of free-handed math and graphs. So jumping right into the next application I use is iStudies Pro. This application allows me to have a very nice, clean schedule, as well as keep track of all my assignments and when they're due. So as you can see here, I have all my classes. I also have the room and the date of the week that every class takes place. Now, when those dreaded homework assignments are given out, it's very easy to just go into the class and go ahead and add an assignment. So, of course, you can give the assignment a name, you can tell it when it's due, and you can also actually have it remind you, a day before or a week before the assignment is actually due. And one of my favorite features of this application is that there's an iPhone version and they work seamlessly together. After setting everything up on one device, go ahead and open up iStudies Pro on the other, hit that glorified sync button, and just like magic, everything is right where it should be. I apologize for not being able to keep this video less than 30 seconds, but I believe with all the college students out there, this will definitely help some of you guys out, especially those of you looking to digitize your college career. So thank you guys very much for watching. Be sure to check out roachtechnology.com, and thanks for the show.
Really
You're great.
good.
You're so
iStudies
good.
Pro and Notability.
That's right.
Well, I've seen both of them, and excellent programs.
It did.
Yeah.
You didn't have to keep it to 30 seconds. You went really quick.
No.
Really appreciate that. That
No.
was awesome. Especially since you're in college. So I feel like we can talk about this is what we would have liked, and we could probably use it this way, but Bob is like, this is what I'm doing for my economy class.
I would have
right
loved a
now.
computer in college. I had a typewriter.
I had a computer. It was a...
Did you write? Are you young enough that you wrote papers with computers? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I was on a mechanical typewriter.
My printer was one of those like hole punchy. Yeah. No, I had a computer and I had the internet in college, but I mean it was like the first years.
Wow.
I mean, I went to college in 1994.
I can only so I'm 20 years older than you, so I was 70s.
I had a email address associated with my college, and that's about it.
I can only imagine what it's like now for college kids. I mean, all that technology might almost be bad because you spend a lot of time messing with the technology instead of studying.
I can't imagine. It's like I just don't even know what college would be like.
It would be different.
You have an iPad in college?
Yeah.
What?
We were lucky to have, papyrus and chisels.
Well, you're extremely ancient.
I am.
So.
I am indeed.
Yes, it was all chiseled.
Yes.
My economy homework. Economics, right? That's how long I've been out of college. Economy class. Yeah, learn about them numbers. Okay, I got an email from Tino, who says, I was watching your last episode, and Leo said something like iPad users could be thrown off by seeing the share section of Pinnacle Studio include a share to Windows.
Yes.
Just wanted to say that there are some of us out there that are multi-platform. I have an iPad that I love, but I also love my Windows machine that dual boots with Linux. I have a Linux server for Nessus and a Windows Server 2008 VM, my Xbox and my PS Vita, Android phone, old Android tablet.
Wow, she's multi-platform.
I use Amazon for my movies. And finally, have every intention of getting the Windows RT as long as it's good. She's hoping. Or he, Tino. I don't know if you're a man or a woman. You're probably a man. I love all of the electronics equally. So good job with the show. I just wanted to make sure you knew we all exist.
Absolutely.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I
we
would,
know that.
and I know about Pinnacle Studio because I've used it on Windows. It's a good program.
I have to say, sometimes I do have to remind myself, just because I am in the iOS world, not just clearly for a lot of stuff here at TWiT, but that's just what I've chosen to do with, kind of my time and effort, because they sync and blah, blah, blah. But many more people don't work that way.
Tomorrow, I'm very excited. The Kindle Fire HD 7-inch arrives.
Oh.
So
I thought you got both of them.
I did, but you know the big one won't be available for another couple of weeks or months.
Why is that?
That's just how
it's just the way it goes.
Yeah. So the one that's out now is the 7-inch. It'll be out tomorrow, and I'll have it for next week's show.
Oh, good.
But by then, everybody will know about it, and I will certainly talk about it on. I guess the Tech Guy will be the next show that I can talk about on the radio show on Saturday.
Cool.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I don't think it's going to compete with the iPad, but we'll see.
You know, Eileen Rivera, obviously formerly of TWiT, she's got one. And
how did she get one?
Well, she's got a new Kindle of some kind. I don't know. Review unit maybe at CNET? I have no idea.
Oh, she's at CNET. That's how she got it.
So she
All right.
posted.
Yeah,
she
we don't
posted a
get
picture
stuff
and
like
said,
that. Everybody in the
"It's
world
awesome."
got the new Kindle except us. I don't understand. I guess we don't count.
Are we really trying though? Like, are we
No.
really trying to get review units? I feel like, you know, people always ask, why doesn't TWiT get invited to Apple events? You know, and you jokingly say, I've been blackballed or whatever. But I feel like we haven't tried either. Not in the last few years.
I think a lot of it also is that if you're a magazine or a web page, people kind of understand what you do. I don't know if people in the regular world have any idea.
Nobody has any idea
what we are.
We're
not a podcast exactly. We're not. I mean, what are we?
I was at a women's retreat over the weekend last week.
Women definitely don't know what we do.
Well, but these women are all like bloggers and in some
they should
technology
know.
and stuff.
They never heard of TWiT.
Well, some of them had, but the others are like IPTV. Okay.
Someday people will understand what that is.
It shouldn't be as difficult to explain what we do for a living as it is, but I assure you that it is. You guys know. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Email from Adria, who says she likes it when we're silly, so we should never stop being silly.
Good, you win.
Yeah, we can't now. She says, how can I view shows in succession? I'm a flight attendant. I live in the northeast of the U.S., but my main trips are to Europe. The TV in Europe is generally horrible. I like to hear people speaking English, but I want to not just watch one show and then go back into my settings and then decide to watch another show. I want to like stack them up and watch a bunch of shows like I would TV.
Oh, she's on an iPad, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand why that's a problem at all. Doesn't it just show up in order?
Well, what do you mean? If she chooses iPad today, show 114. That was our last week's show, right?
maybe the issue would be to get a better podcast client. So we've recommended Dogcatcher and Instacast. Is it Dogcatcher that we?
Downcast is the one that I like.
Dogcatcher is Android. So so if you have that, you'll subscribe to iPad today, and as long as you're subscribing to the video, you'll get each new video as it comes out, and they should be in order, and you should be able to, unless I'm confused.
No, you're right.
Just press play, watch the first one, the next one will start.
Yeah, that was going to be my advice, but I didn't know if you had something else to say about it.
I think that's how it does it.
I don't like going through
shouldn't it do that?
iTunes at all, actually.
Shouldn't it do that in the videos section as well, though? I mean, the videos player?
Well, the podcast app should work this way. I don't actually use the podcast
app
regularly because it was so buggy at first that I just said, I'm going to come back to it later. It has been updated since then. But Downcast, which is the
that's a great program.
The iPad app that I just prefer, not only for video podcasts, although it works really well, but for audio too. Yeah, you go back to basically as far back as you need to catch up on, and it'll start the next one immediately.
Well, and remember, I'm looking. Apple kind of took videos out of this is what we were talking about earlier, out of the iTunes or the music player, and now there's a separate videos app. But won't if you start one video, won't it play the next one after that and the next one after that? I thought it would.
But that's different though because you're downloading videos from iTunes.
Right.
So the videos
that's not
app.
podcasts.
No, the videos app is
we don't show up in there, is what you're saying.
Can somebody tell me if we do or not? Because it's been so long since I went that way.
Just get Downcast.
I think so, yeah. Instacast also, some people swear by Instacast, and even those two are just a couple of your options.
Right.
But I've liked Downcast for a while, ever since they updated to Retina graphics and everything.
So you see there here in this we've got 23 episodes of iPad today. The media's not loaded. I guess I deleted them. But you should be able just to press play and continue to listen
CJA,
one after the other.
in chat says, yeah, if you're using the Apple's own podcast app for iOS, it'll work the same way. So that's good too.
Yeah, but this is Instacast. It looks great. It's an easy thing to do, and yeah, you can just watch them and watch them and watch them and watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So, Adrian,
and by the way,
thank
HD
you for
version is
liking
available
us.
now. So get the HD version because it looks.
Oh, of iPad
on the
today.
iPad. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
great.
in fact, we've been doing HD versions for, I don't know, 10 shows now or something like that.
Looks so good.
So if you subscribe to the large video, we have a small video. Is that what we still call
We have
them?
small, large, and HD.
We have small, large, and HD.
Get
So
the HD.
previously, large is as good quality as you could get. You can still get that. We didn't get rid of anything. We just added an HD feed. So if you're watching us on a big screen or that sort of thing, and you want to see Leo's pores just a lot better than you have
I don't have pores.
for 115 shows now.
I don't have pores.
I have enough pores for both of us.
Yeah. My skin doesn't breathe.
Big pores.
Do you really?
I do, yeah.
No, you don't.
I do.
So they call it orange peel skin.
That's what I have.
So, by the way,
Yeah.
we actually debated over nomenclature with small, large, HD. Just if you know nomenclature, what they are is standard def, enhanced def, and high def. Those are the three different versions. That is 480p, 320p, 480p, and 720p. Those are the different sizes. So 720p is a high def.
And the small, someone might say, well, why would I ever want that? Maybe if you
it's
watch
for
a lot
mobile
of stuff on
devices.
mobile.
Yeah, it's for smaller
exactly.
devices. That's right.
And it makes things go a lot quicker.
We do not do 1080p. They'd just be too big.
Yeah. You don't want that. Come on.
You don't want
Be honest.
Then you really would see my pores.
Mine too.
Yeah. 320, 480, and 720.
Well, reminder, we love hearing from you. Your feedback is the best part of the show. It's a lot of fun because you give us tips and questions and stuff for us to answer and stuff for us to research. Write us at iPad Today at twit.tv. Leave us a voicemail at 757-504-iPad. That's 757-504-4723. Or you can send us a video like Bob did. That was a great video, by the way.
Love
and
that,
Pascal,
Bob. Thank
too.
you.
Both of you guys. Yeah, it's always fun to see everybody. It's, you know, we'll try to add as many of those to the show as come in. Could be about anything you want. I say keep it to 30 seconds or less, but if you've got a good idea, just send the video, and we'll try to make it work. We'll make it work, as what's his name says on Project Runway.
Can you do
Tim
the head?
Gunn. Oh no, she didn't. Not really.
No, you didn't.
I just kind of moved my whole upper body.
We're too white.
No, yeah.
The one other thing I'll say.
Okay.
The folks at the Red Camera Company
Yes.
did approach us at NAB and they said we would love to do a 5K version
Of
your
TWiT?
show. Yeah. So we may at one point it'd be too large for you to download. You wouldn't even be able to play it on most computers. I
Right.
think, but
Just to say we did.
Just to say we did.
Yeah.
We might end up doing a 5K version of one of our shows.
I think that
Wouldn't
is
that be fun?
Awesome. I mean,
Crazy.
yeah.
Crazy, but it's nice of
Just to
them.
say we did.
Yeah. No puppets in that one. This show brought to you by, our app caps are coming up, the new Squarespace. Squarespace 6 is out. Squarespace, I gotta tell you, Squarespace is more than just great software. Squarespace is the best hosting out there and the best software on top of it. So it's really everything you need to create a great website. If you've got an idea for a website, or there's a special event coming out, a girls' weekend, a baby is being born, a wedding ahead. What a great idea to create a website just for that purpose. Squarespace is perfect for that. Visit squarespace.com and you can get started. Click that Get Started button. You don't need a credit card. You could try it out. You could design a beautiful website in minutes because of their great templates. The new Squarespace 6 is even better because it does something very, modern called responsive design. That means that the site looks good no matter what device, iPhone to 27-inch screen you're looking at it on. And that is absolutely critical. You don't have to even think about it when you're doing your design. It just works. It's beautiful. The templates are good. The service and servers are fantastic. The service 24/7, and the servers never go down. That's because the software is so tightly tied to the server. When they see traffic, they can turn on more bandwidth like instantaneously, automatically. You're going to love it. Import all your content from Tumblr, WordPress, or Blogger to create a beautiful site in minutes. If you haven't tried it, visit squarespace.com. Try it for free, no credit card needed. If you decide you want to buy it, $8 a month or $16 a month. That's it. If you buy the yearly package, it's Look at the $16. That's the most expensive they sell. It's only $16. You get unlimited pages, unlimited bandwidth, unlimited storage, everything. And they even set up the custom domain for you with an annual purchase. That means you can come up with a great name, our, girlsweekendinnapa.com.
Woot.
You can get it hooked up. They'll hook it up for free. I mean, all of it.
You could write about your feelings.
No. Squares, it's not allowed. Squarespace, I don't have any feelings. I'm a man. Squarespace.com, and if you do buy the yearly plan, actually if you buy any plan, use iPad Today 9. iPad Today 9 as the offer code to save 10% on that first purchase. That's why a yearly plan would be a good idea. Squarespace. I'll tell you, I do have one feeling. I love Squarespace, but that's it. We're going to leave it at that because I'm a guy.
Yeah, and guys don't feel.
We don't have feelings. No
All
feelings.
right, we'll see. Yeah, next time you have a cold, I don't want to hear any complaining.
I feel awful.
I don't want to hear any, my achy back.
That's not feeling. That's sick.
That's emotional.
That's not emotion. That's sickness. That's illness. That's your body.
No, it is emotion because it's, hey, woman, please take care of me. I feel so sick.
No.
That's emotion.
That's not emotion. That's illness.
No, it is. You see? You're a man-cold person. I can tell. Give me that app cap.
I have a man cold. You don't have an app cap?
No. You have
this
both
one will
of them.
fit you. This is from Communist Russia.
I love it.
The Soviet Union.
I love it.
He's very nice. And this one, I bring these back from my travels. Oh, you look cute.
Thank you.
I love a woman in uniform. You look like a whack.
Official.
Doesn't she? And these, somebody told me, so I bought this. It was really excited. It was like nothing.
It's supposed to be like this because it's not fitting any tighter.
No, that's exactly right.
Okay.
I bought it in St. Petersburg, and it's got all these old Soviet Union buttons. And I thought, oh, that's really cool. These are left over from the Soviet Union. No, somebody told me, no, they make them fresh. Those are new.
Yeah, no, yeah. You bought this on the side of the road and you thought, wow, old Soviet relic.
Memorabilia.
I don't think so.
But
it's very cool,
I did buy this in Uruguay. This is or was it Montevideo? I think it was Montevideo. This is
That's Uruguay.
Yeah. Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the capital.
The capital of Uruguay. You've been there probably.
I have.
This is a typical hat worn by a Montevidean.
Okay, I believe you. Sure. Yeah, Argentina has the gauchos.
That's right.
And this is the what?
Whatever it is, I don't know what they call them.
It looks like you're going to be playing in some funny sport.
It does look like it's protective.
A little bit.
Like it's a padded hat.
You know what it is? It looks like the outside of a like a soccer ball,
right?
Or a
glued to my head.
Something. Yeah, it's weird.
It's
weird.
A little strange.
But that's it wouldn't be iPad Today without that. Hey, so my app cap today is called Gojee. I mentioned it at the beginning of the show. Gojee you might know as like a goji berry. It's in a lot of health food these days.
Yes, I know a goji berry.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about them actually. They're very tart.
Yeah.
They're hard to love.
Yeah, but
the
they're
goji
kind of
berries.
fun. Do you ever have dried goji berries?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Or
they're
like
chewy.
they have in cereal and granola and stuff like that.
them. Yeah.
So I believe, nobody told me this, but I assume that this is sort of a play on that, but it's spelled Gojee, and it is not a kids app as the screenshot would lead you to believe. It kind of looks like, oh, it's going to be teaching
Prepare
kids
yourself
about
for a
goji
happy
berries.
mouth explosion.
But it's not really. It's actually kind of a weird
Is
picture.
it things you cook with goji berries?
No, it has nothing to do with goji berries.
Are there goji berries anywhere in the app?
It might if you search for them, because what it is it's a cooking app. Now, I know that I like cooking apps maybe more than the average person, but this is actually a really cool app because, here, let's go back to the beginning. Oh, I have to go back to food. It has two sections. So I'm looking at drinks right now, or I could look at food. The drink section, I can just go ahead and browse, or I could say something like, I crave tequila, right? And it'll say, okay, well, I know that's kind of a weird thing to admit, right? Maybe you'd like the Cantaloupe Fiesta cocktail.
Yeah.
Now, on that cocktail, what I get right
Now
off the
you're gonna
bat
have some
is
feelings.
a small synopsis. Yeah, I'm gonna start having some tears.
Start crying.
Is what happens if you have too many fiestas. Catherine Taylor, who runs a website, Cookie and Kate, has a little synopsis of what this cocktail kind of is. She says, hey, over the past several days, I've opened my refrigerator to see half of a fresh cantaloupe staring back at me. Drink me, I dare you, it said, so I did. Then on the left-hand side, it says, here are all the ingredients that you need. Now, if I'm like, okay, well, how do I make it? I go ahead and click full recipe. Gojee will open the recipe on the original website by this woman in its own browser. So this is Kate's.
Is Nicole Richie fun?
Oh, that's just,
Is that an ad?
Yeah, it's some ad, a Macy's ad that's on this website. So then I see, okay, here are my ingredients, here are the instructions, blah, blah, blah. And you might say, all right, well, that doesn't seem like it's that hard.
Is this
but there's a whole
constantly updated collection of recipes?
Yeah, so what it is the folks behind Gojee have over 300 independent food blogs that they work with. And they say, okay, we're going to curate a great list. Yeah. So it's not, the nice thing about it is that a lot of the apps that I love, the cooking apps that I love, like How to Cook Everything by Mark Bettman is great. But they have to re-release the app every time there's an update to the whole thing. You know, it's a static
Not this,
book.
though.
No. It's constantly being updated.
Because it's like feeds.
Exactly.
It's
And it's
feeds that
great.
feed you.
So I can say something like, for example, I've got garlic zucchini. What else do I have that I'm trying to figure out, you know, roasted pepper. Like, I've got some ingredients in my house. Whoops. Pepper. Roasted red pepper. Yeah, that's what I got. And I go ahead and let Gojee say, well, maybe you'd like to make quinoa salad with zucchini because there's a roasted red pepper in there too.
Yum.
And I go, yeah, okay.
If I had some zucchini and quinoa.
Let's see the full, well, I mean.
You could go to the store.
You could go to the store or you might have that on hand.
You might.
I've
Lots
always
of
got
people,
quinoa around the house.
Do you have lots of quinoa around the house?
Yeah, I've always got it like rice because it works
reason,
like rice.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise you that I'm a quinoa person.
Not at
Well, you know,
all.
it has more protein than
It's
some
the
of
miracle
the other
food of the
grains
Aztecs.
of Bolivia. Yeah, no, I like quinoa a lot. MJ doesn't like it so much. But so then here's, you know, the original recipe. And what's kind of nice is that folks who are food bloggers who take this stuff really seriously, and
MG
there are
comes
a
over
lot
for
of
dinner
them.
a lot?
What's that? MG comes over for dinner. Yes, when he's invited nicely. Yes, and we get off the china and the
We're having
cloth
quinoa.
napkins.
Come over for dinner.
Yeah, would you like to come over for dinner for 1 hour before you go back to your house? Because we're unmarried, you know.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to live in
What's
sin.
What's nice about these bloggers is not only does Gojee just get a lot of content, but the app looks great. They have a web version, by the way, and they also have an Android app.
I'm loving this. Oh, really? Oh, good.
Yeah, they
That's
do.
great.
But the bloggers get a lot of
I like this a lot.
of visibility.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's like an RSS
And you
reader
can
for
save
food
favorites and
blogs,
stuff
but
like
it's
that,
prettier and it gets the images and it's more interactive and
Oh, it's great.
yeah, it's a great idea. I
It's
love
awesome.
that. Gojee, I'm going to get that right now.
Yeah, zucchini and lemon quinoa.
Yeah.
Zucchini noodles with arrabbiata chickpeas. Hello.
Ooh, yummy.
I was on a zucchini kick earlier. It's not like
Now,
that's
this
all
isn't
that they
just
have.
vegetarian. I
No,
mean,
no.
Okay.
This is just stuff that I'm looking
Oh,
for.
it looks wonderful. That
No,
looks
it's-
great.
isn't it great?
And you can
Yeah,
save
I'm
these
pretty happy with
as
it.
you search them and plan a meal.
Yeah, you can save your favorites. You can look through something called Inspiration, where it'll just kind of say, all right, if you're interested in a cantaloupe fiesta cocktail, maybe you'd also like the key lime and vanilla spritzer with blood orange.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Everything's
Moscow
better with
Mule,
blood
anyone
orange.
who's thirsty, and so on and so on. There's also non-alcoholic drinks too. So if you're like, I'm not interested in cocktails, they have all sorts of drinks where alcohol is not included. So there's a little something for everybody here. It's a free app. Totally free.
And by the way, if you ever considered a career in the Soviet army,
Yes. Cooking for
you
the
look
soldiers.
good in that.
Kind of would like to do that.
I have a conundrum.
Okay.
I told you I was going to do one app, and I still want to do it because it really is a beautiful app and it's timely. But something else came out during the show. So I'm going to do this quickly because I know you got a party to go to.
Yeah, in fact, I'm totally late already.
Sorry, I keep coughing.
It's a party I'm
Do you want to
throwing.
go now?
No.
You're throwing the party?
Yeah.
And you're late for it?
Yeah. I will be.
Wear that hat, say you were waylaid by a Soviet sailor, and they'll understand.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to.
So this is actually timely because, of course, a couple of days ago, the anniversary of 9/11. And American Photo, which is an amazing photography magazine, they're coming to the iPad, by the way, has made available for free just an incredible, it's an issue of their magazine with, I think it's about 12 photographers, and the images they took from 9/11. And many of these you've never seen before, but what makes this really interesting is that these images include the story of the photographer in New York, what they were doing, why they were there, and then these just dramatic images. There's some that are very interesting. There's some very well-known photographers in here. But let me show you this one because this is some of these names you're going to absolutely recognize. In fact, some of the images you'll have seen and never forgotten. This kid was a sophomore at NYU. He didn't have a digital camera. He only had a bunch of expired black and white film. He ran out the door, and because the mainstream press could not get photographers into Manhattan for many days, he got an assignment from the Post to shoot this, and he got some of the most brilliant iconographic black and white film images of 9/11.
Wow.
They just
this is
are
the first I've seen.
moving, beautiful images. And it's wonderful to see these. You can tap them and zoom in. You can't pinch and zoom on the images. You know, the resolution is just full screen on here. But I gotta recommend it. It's free. Well, you know, it's gonna bring back memories of a very difficult time. But I highly recommend it. This one's kind of interesting. This guy was a first responder who happened to always carry a camera with him. So he was right in there, and just some amazing stuff. So that's American Photo and 9/11/01, the photographer's stories. Beautiful images, but also stories of 9/11. Boy, I cannot recommend that more highly.
Oh
Very
my gosh,
moving.
those pictures are...
Yeah, it's free, and yeah, you know, it may bring back a lot of difficult memories. So
Well, this is something that, I mean, this week...
we can't forget.
No.
We're not allowed to forget.
No, that's the point.
But now you can forget, because this is a fun program. And I'm just going to mention it briefly. I recommended it on, actually, it was Alex Lindsay who recommended it on Mac Break Weekly. It was an iPhone program. It just came out today for iPad. It is Field Runners 2. I've recommended this before. It is an incredibly fun game. It's a tower defense game. The Field Runners are attacking and you have to defend. But they have updated this in so many great ways. If you ever played Field Runners 1, which was absolutely one of my all-time picks for the iPad, you can see it's slow on the iPhone too. There's a lot of data in this. It takes a little while to load.
I mean, you just downloaded it, right?
Well, no, it's. I mean, I'm not kidding. When you play the game, you have to wait a few seconds for everything to load in. But boy, yeah, I did just download it. Highly recommend it. Field Runners 2 HD just came out. It's expensive, $7.99. But this is a game that will give you endless joy and pleasure playing from Subatomic Studios. So there's an upbeat one and kind of a serious one for you.
Oh, you gave us a little of everything.
Yes.
You give so much, Leo. How can we give back?
I give and I give. Well, just keep watching the damn shows.
That's all we want.
That's all I ask.
That's all we want.
Watch, watch, watch.
This was a fun show. We had a little of everything.
Yes,
we
we
had
did.
Apple Week.
Yep.
That's what I like to call it because I've been thinking about it nonstop.
Yep.
Do you know that I woke up like over the weekend excited about the Apple announcement?
Well, how do you feel? Was there a cliff? Was there a little letdown, or you're stoked? You said you're going to buy the phone right away.
Oh, I'm going to buy the phone.
12:01 tonight.
The thing is like for purposes of what we do at TWiT, I feel like...
Oh, sorry, the game started.
Oh.
I turned it off.
What's that? For the purposes of what we do at TWiT, I feel like I have to. But so
yeah,
I
sure.
can't tell you 100% if I would anyway because I don't know. I work here.
Right.
But
We do have to. You do an i5 for the iPhone show.
Right.
You better damn well have the new iPhone.
Yeah. So it's like I know that I'm a little bit.
No, I'm
If it was just
you're
purely
12:01.
as a
I'm 12:02.
consumer.
I'll wait, and after you're done, I'll get it.
Okay, thank
Because
you.
I'm definitely getting it. Black or white?
I think I'm going to do white.
Black. Definitely black. The black's beautiful. And I
like the idea of black because I think it looks pretty cool on the back.
You can't get black.
Here's the problem, though.
You can't get black.
I had the white iPad.
Right.
And then when new iPad came out, I
We're in a
said we
TikTok.
switch back and forth.
We're
we
in a
TikTok,
TikTok.
and I miss it. I missed the white one.
I have a white iPhone, so you better get a black one. Now, Verizon,
Yes.
AT&T, or Sprint?
Oh, Verizon.
Oh.
That's easy.
Me too.
I'm a happy
I'm
Verizon
moving.
customer.
I am a
You know they're letting us do FaceTime over 3G.
Yeah, no. I for a
4G.
long time, AT&T.
LTE.
I do have a Verizon iPad, but the iPhone's always been AT&T.
Are you an unlimited guy?
I don't
Yes.
care.
So it's, yeah. Well,
I'm going to Verizon. I'm
if
sorry.
it works for you, it works.
We
Oh,
have-
you're going Verizon?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, the coverage is better for LTE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
All
fine.
right, well, now you know a lot more about us than you ever asked. You're
What are you
welcome.
buying?
What are you guys buying? Galaxy S3?
What are you doing at
Whatever.
midnight?
I actually held your Galaxy S3 for a second yesterday. And
Don't. Careful.
What?
You might fall in love.
No.
Touch it, and it's over.
I don't dislike it. I think it's a very nice phone.
It's very light and thin,
It is very light
but
and
not
thin.
as light and thin as your new iPhone.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Will we have it for next week's show? No, 21st.
Yeah. It sucks. Oh, well. That's it for this edition of iPad Today.
Believe it or not, this show will never end, but I'm just trying to make her late for her party.
I'm late. No, it's good. We're good.
Are people showing up at the door?
I'm throwing a party in Carmel tonight. Carmel, California.
Carmel's like 3 hours from here.
Yeah.
And
It just, I don't know why I do this to myself. I don't
either.
Life is complicated.
Okay.
That's the way.
And you're making it more so.
That's gonna be. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next week right here.
Run, Sarah Lane,
iPad
run!
Today.